Michigan Stadium. Today, an early season non-conference showdown here on EA Sports College Football, hitting the SEC against the Big Ten. It's the Oklahoma Sooners and the Michigan Wolverines. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer here in the booth. Holly Rowe is down on the sidelines, and we check in with her right now.
When you talk about iconic stadiums in college football, the Big House has to be at the top of your list. One of the most unique stadiums. It is nestled down in the ground. It is loud. It is fun. Ann Arbor has one of the finest stadiums in college sports. Guys, back to you.
Holly, thank you. The Sooners headed toward the ball, and we are ready for action. Fielded in the end zone, it's Stewart. They drag him down at the 22. He gambled for the big return out of the end zone and came up a little short. Play action with Underwood. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And the defense comes out on the very first play of the game on the road, and they bring the energy, and they get the sack. They came into this one on fire, ready to go, and that is a statement early.
The Wolverines with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Here's Bryce Underwood to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack.
Man, you want to start fast and you're a defense, that's how you do it. Get to the quarterback not once, but twice in a row. You're not letting him feel comfortable from the start of this game. Great execution by this defense.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking for a man. It's Underwood. Fires immediately. Able to haul it in, but right to the ground he goes. Only a pickup of a couple.
And this is an offense that talked about really wanting to take that taste out of their mouth from a week ago. Getting the loss, like they wanted to bounce back. They wanted to start fast, and that's kind of frustrating for them, right? Going 3 and out, setting the tone like that. Now already having to depend on your defense. Hopefully this defense is strapped up and ready to rock and roll.
Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. The speed, the shiftiness, the elusiveness, all on display in that sweet return there. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Straight ahead, it's Blaylock. Stopped in his tracks. He got nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you got a guy that can fly up and make tackles, man, does your defense go to a different level.
Right back to the well. He's just outside the 20-yard line, stopped at the 21 after a pickup of 6.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
They'll throw on 3rd and short. Turns it upfield. He's got enough. It'll be a 1st down. They've got it at the 12.
And, man, this is exactly how you wanted to script this game. Your defense comes out, gets a stop, do a nice job in special teams. Now you get that first down. The juices are flowing. Everybody's feeling confident now. The offense is feeling good. I look, Jesse, for them to open it up now.
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown! getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the scoring play came on the 12-yard run. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Man, those are so hard to defend. You know, the quarterback, obviously he's doing the run-pass option and creating some indecision in my head. And look at that. He hands it off, and the back gets a quick 10. Easy. You know, like just chews up yardage. Just really, really tough to stop those kind of plays.
Might as well give it to him again. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43.
I don't know, man. If I'm on defense here and I'm watching the way my D-line's getting manhandled, I might have to put more guys in the box. I might have to sacrifice a safety and try to get more hats close to the line of scrimmage to slow this running back down, because the RPO game's been a problem.
From the gun, plows through the defense. He'll be brought down quickly after a very short game.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job of handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive yards.
This defense will try to force a 4th down on 3rd and short from the 45. Quarterback signaling to his guys. Finding space. He breaks a tackle. He's got first down yardage as they move into the 44.
And as a defensive guy, man, when you play a QB like this that will take off and run and has the speed to make you pay, it just limits what you can do. It limits the amount of coverages. It just makes you play a lot more hesitant. And you can see right there, man, the guy's got speed. Interested to see how this defense continues to attack this QB.
Quarterback keeper. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
And how about that young man getting in the backfield again? He's really got his fingerprints all over this game so far to start it, man. We're still in the first half, and he's got a sack. He's got a tackle for a loss. These are the kind of plays that really help your defense push these offenses behind the sticks.
And the Wolverines are in the hurry-up. Underwood from the gun on 3rd down. Right side, it's Marsh. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Got his man. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
You know, the beautiful thing about being a quarterback is you can throw a little drag route, and they can take it 60. When you got fast playmakers on the outside that you can get the ball in their hands really quickly, great things can happen. 1-yard passes can turn into 60. It's beautiful to be quarterback.
The Wolverines come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Motion from the wideout. Going to audible here. Let's see what they do. There he goes. Good effort, but he's going to come up a little bit short. It'll be 4th down and 1.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Snap to the back. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on fourth down, and they keep the drive alive.
Well, the offense didn't have the result they wanted on that first drive, having to punt, but they're having a lot more success here in the second drive. They're having some balance, and they're getting a rhythm. I think a big part of that is their ability to run the football. Very, very important to them, and doing a nice job on that last play, picking up the first down.
First down and goal, I bet you the percentages are really high for run, and this defense was ready for it. They got to match the physicality right here, right now in this situation.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on second and goal. Here's Underwood to throw. Looking to get it in. And he was greeted by a host of defenders and barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. They want to dance their way in on third and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Wolverines.
That's a nice job by the offense there in their second drive. I know in the opening possession you go 3 and out, you're scratching your head. That didn't obviously go the way you wanted to, but a good job of sort of collecting yourselves, going through the next couple play calls and making sure everybody's back on the same page. We saw this offense, David, on this drive really be in sync and finally find the rhythm.
You got to like the answers, right? Like sometimes you come out, sometimes you're situated and you're ready to rock and roll and it comes out hot. Sometimes it doesn't, but I like the response. Their defense does their job, gets them the football back. They come out, execute. Nice job getting on the scoreboard.
They'll snap it from the 10 for the first play of this drive. Just enough running room. He picks up 4 to the 15.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for him.
Stopped right there.
And that's a great play by the defensive end. The best athletes on the field play defensive end. You can ask anybody. Yes, I agree, Jesse and Reese. They agree with me. Same thing. But you watch them get off the football, make the play. That's why you put your athletes there.
It's been punch, counter-punch throughout the early part of this game as we take a look at the first quarter stats. Chance to talk over this third down play to open the period. To the air. It's Bentley. Look out. Turns it upfield. Gets it out to the 22-yard line, and that'll be enough for the first down. What a nice job to get through your progressions and find your man open on the drag.
And you can't do that without good protection up front by the offensive line, giving you a little bit of time. And you're right, the QB had time, saw the matchups, finally saw that drag come open, completes the strike, gets the first down.
They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. A great Oklahoma running attack will bring a tear to the Boomer Sooner Nation eye, thinking of guys like Billy Sims.
And where it all started was always the ground game and the toughness, and you never question that. And Oklahoma, they got to get to that. They got to be that. They got to live that if they really want to build on what they used to be and bring that tradition and build some of that tradition in the SEC.
The Sooners have their whole playbook open here on second and inches. Good time to take a shot here with this quarterback. He's got it inside the 25. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Driving forward, it's Blaylock. Got enough space. Touchdown, Oklahoma! And they take it in for 6 more points. Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, no problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. The offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting a touchdown.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Wolverines offense heads out, ready to go on the attack. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Give to the back. Dropped immediately. He got nothing on first down.
And as you start to settle into games as a play call, you start to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And they really got to find a way to get this running game going. They haven't figured it out yet. Like, maybe get the ball more on the perimeter. You know, find a way to get the ball to your running back in space. This offense really has to find a way to get the ground game going.
Intercepted. The defense has set him up. Didn't really have room to operate on the return, but he hands him the ball at the 32.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
The Sooner offense returns to the field. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it 3 for 3. Noses ahead to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Just feeds the running back. Wrestled down at the 26. It's a gain of 4.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up 3rd and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that 2nd down by this defense.
More than 100,000 making their presence felt. A huge 3rd down here in the big house. Looking to throw, it's Bentley. Buying time to his right. Oh, he's got some space. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown Sooners. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
One thing this team has shown earlier this year, it does not take them long to find their footing. They get off to fast starts. That was critical for them winning their first game, and you've seen it here in this one too. They show up ready to go. There's no sleepwalking. I think you got to give this coaching staff a ton of credit for putting their players in good positions to have success.
He'll bring it out. It's Stewart. He'll be stopped short of the 20-yard line on the return. They'll mark him at the 19. So here comes the Michigan offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Throwing, Underwood. Bought a little time, lets it go. Out wide, it's Reynolds. Getting behind those pads and behind a stiff arm to get it out to the 27. And the Wolverines want to pick up the tempo. Calls his own number. They pull him down, but he's got enough, and it'll be a first down for this offense. Up-tempo for the offense.
And that's a good sign for this offense. A good third down conversion, running the football. Obviously, last possession was not what you want. Like the interception, the turnover, good to get back on the field, get that first down. Now see how much more they'll be aggressive and maybe want to throw the football and put that mistake behind them.
Concentration is key. Have to know the snap count. The false start backs him up. It's 1st and 15. From the gun, running back on the move. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
Brought down just short of the sticks on the screen pass.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Underwood in the gun on 3rd down. Perfect timing on the hit to keep him from making the grab, and the defense forces a 4th down.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting...
It's a fake. He wants to throw. And he makes the tackle, but not before the 1st down is picked up and the gamble pays off.
And that is such a great job by the head coach deciding to go for it there on the fake punt. And that's one of those fake punts they've probably had in their playbook now for several weeks, but you gotta have the perfect look defensively to run it. The up man gets the snap, a nice accurate throw, picking up the 1st down and keep this drive alive.
Oh, and he just dropped it so close to his 2nd interception of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
You just wonder if the quarterback's trying to get it all back after throwing a pick the last time out. This time, that was not a good read. The defender was all over that throw. He should have intercepted that, but thanks to the drop, the offense stays on the field. This
gashing the D on the right. Pass attack. Touchdown, Michigan. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the 2nd level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. From the gun, it's Roberts. Finds Zach Priest, and he's got 4 out to the 29.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
They'll run him again. Breaks into the open. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a 1st down. You know, Oklahoma's DNA is being tough. They have a whole drill about being tough named after them, the Oklahoma drill, and they won that one.
And we've seen that kind of come and go some throughout the years, but it started with serious physicality back in the day when they ran the option and just hit you in the mouth. But, you know, football's involved, and that's the one thing about this offense. Can they keep their physicality and assert their physicality? The good Oklahoma teams are physical.
Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
And I like the thought process on offense here early in this game. They're giving their bell cow the ball early enough. And there are a lot of coaches that outthink themselves, and they think, you know, we're going to throw the ball to set up the run instead because everybody on defense knows our guy is the focal point. But this offense is just keeping it simple. Let's just give our best player the football early in this game, and let's just get him into a rhythm.
And the Sooners will snap it on 1st and 10. Right back to the well. Got 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4 coming. 6-yard pickup on first down, leaves them with 2nd and 4.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
Fires to the big fella. He stopped at the 32-yard line, pick up a 5 on the play, and it'll be a first down.
Nice job decision-making by the quarterback there in the RPO, not handing it off, knowing he had to throw it, but then also understanding his open guy was going to be in the right flat.
The Sooners come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. Pulls it, trying to get the corner. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line, a loss of 1.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
To throw, it's Bentley. Move to his right. He'll pull it down and run. He's knocked down short game, maybe a pickup of 3. That defense rallied to the ball in a hurry. Michigan wants to stop the clock. They'll use a timeout. It's their 2nd. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. Coming to the line of scrimmage at the 30. It would be a long field goal, but they'd love to pick up a few here on 3rd and long. Stop hold by this defense. They tried to fool him with the run, and nobody was buying it. Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. Oh, that one will leave a mark. No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
Man, sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Rush is on. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
They'll need a bunch on 2nd down. Underwood. Right side, it's Reynolds. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup.
Well, this tight end, he's got size and he's got some athleticism, and he's very difficult to cover one-on-one. Defense is going to have their hands full with him today.
3rd and long coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. Dumps it to the back. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Wants to throw. It's Bentley. Extending the play. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he's knocked down. They'll mark it at the 15. It's a first down in the red zone. Now a timeout called by the Sooners. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. On 1st and 10, trying to strike from the 15. Breaks the tackle. There's some room. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. Timeout, Oklahoma. That's their 2nd. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Time expiring in the first half. Before then, they can get another score. Taken down. The Sooners call timeout, and that's their last one. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking for a chunk play on 2nd and short. Touchdown, Oklahoma! Quick strike through the air for the score. Lining up to add another. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they closed it going up top for the final few inches in the score. From deep, it's Stewart. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. From the gun, the ground game. They make the stop, and he's got enough for the first down, and now this offense might have a chance to do something. Halftime as both teams head into the locker room. We're looking forward to a terrific second half, but before that, let's check in with Kevin Connor.
Gentlemen, so much excitement around a brand new season, and we're excited to get you caught up on everything here in Week 1. We start with Appalachian State taking on the number 21 team, the Boise State Broncos.
The Wolverines will kick it off to start the second half. And that is not what they were after. Kickoff sails out of bounds, an excellent field position for this offense. Corners are going to bail. Running inside. It's Blaylock. He's got the first down. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
I can imagine at half, this defense was like, all right, we've got to stop the running game. He's gotten too many yards. What do they do on the first drive now? They give him the football, and he makes another big gain. This defense has to find some answers. They got to wrap him up. They got to get him on the ground. They can't keep getting gashed.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. There he goes. He stopped at the 32, picks up 10 on the play and gets the first down.
And it's going to be interesting to watch this defense, man, because obviously when you're trailing, and offenses can sometimes get conservative, and that's 2 runs back-to-back. Do they get more aggressive and try to bring more guys near the line of scrimmage, not let them waste time, and try to get their offense the football back?
Give him a pickup of 2, now 2nd and 8. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. Handoff to Xavier. Got the first down, and he's brought down after a nice gain.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
The RPO, fire complete to the left. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma! Ready to try the point after.
Love the play design on offense because you get your playmaker, the guy you want with the ball in his hands. Get him open, easy throw for the quarterback. Receiver does the rest, put 6 up on the board.
He'll bring it out. It's Stewart. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Wide receiver going in motion. From the gun, the running back has it. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Stuffed on back-to-back plays. He got nothing, and now they're looking at 3rd and long.
Nice job by the defense, just being very sound, understanding what they were seeing, and going and getting it. A lot of times these running backs force missed tackles and make you miss and make big plays. This defense did a good job of not letting that happen.
Oh, pressure's coming. Just got rid of that one.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on 4th down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on 4th down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
Wait just a second. They're leaving the offense on the field. They're going to go for it in this situation. Quarterback changing the play. Fourth down, Underwood. Fires to the wideout. Across the 30, out of bounds at the 31-yard line, and they kick-started this drive with that one.
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. 4th down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
He's going to take off. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the 1st down. And the Wolverines in the hurry-up.
And he showed you in 2 plays why this defense has been up late at night. Like thinking about having to guard, he makes you defend the back end, throwing the football, but then has the ability to pull it down and chew up yards with his legs. He makes you cover the whole field, run and pass. Infuriating to deal with as a defense.
Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. They're in striking distance at the 37.
And both these quarterbacks, man, they're showing off their ability to take off and scramble and make plays. Right here, it's a design pass. He's looking to make a play. What does he do? He sees some space, captures it, makes the big play with his feet, gets another 1st down. This guy can do that a lot.
They'll run it out of the shotgun.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Keep it on the ground. Sees a crease. Turning it on. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down.
And, man, he really hasn't been the problem today. How about that? He's rushed for over 100 yards. Another big chunk play on the ground. They've continued to be able to run the football well, but here now in the second half, you've built yourself a deficit. I wonder how many more runs they got in him. They got to open this passing attack up and make some big plays.
Tight end now in motion. Pushes ahead for 1. It's 2nd and 9.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Handoff to the single back. Defense there to stop him at the 20. Let's give him 3 yards on that carry. Looking to convert, they'll go to the Wildcat. On the direct snap, it's Marsh. And the Wildcat is not working. They knock him down behind the line.
Man, the momentum is squarely on their side right now. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one. They scored a touchdown their last time out. Now on this drive here in the
field goal unit's not coming out here, guys. I think they're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th and long. Carr to throw for it on 4th. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. They spun that wheel of fortune on 4th down and come up bankrupt.
That is just a play you have got to be able to come up with. They don't get bigger than that. 4th down, you've got to make the catch. Whether it's a perfect throw or whether it's off of your body, you're good enough and you're athletic enough to haul that play, and you've got to make the play for your quarterback and your offense to keep that drive alive, and he's not able to come up with it.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
They'll ride him again. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23, a pickup of 4.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Out wide right, it's Blaylock. And it's a fumble after that huge gain. Defense picks it up. Now the Wolverines call a timeout. It's their first. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way.
You've got to have better ball security on offense. The football possession, that is priceless. Losing possession, turning the ball over, that kills you in games. That loses games. And that is a bad, bad play at a bad time.
That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
Just didn't seem like the quarterback and his intended target were on the same page there.
2nd and long here. Changing the routes with his receivers. Throwing. Carr. Here comes the heat. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble but couldn't create anything there.
Well, a nice job by the defense. They're playing with a big lead. They know the offense has to throw it, and they are inviting throws over the middle of the field, knowing they can break on these passes and maybe pick one off. Offense lucky. That was
caught, and he's got room. The 30. They are on the move as they pick up the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 28. The Wolverines headed quickly to the line.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Quick give. It's Marshall. They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard. We reach the quarter break with Oklahoma on top. A quick pause here to look at the numbers as they are threatening to pull away in this game. Just about ready. In the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. From the gun on 3rd down. Left side is Marshall. Touchdown, Wolverines! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point is good, but they still trail 35-21. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished things off with a 21-yard touchdown pass. And he's going to bring this one out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Sooners will get things going on offense as they head onto the field. So that last touchdown made it a two-possession game, but if this offense can do its job, they can put this one away. Keeps it looking for the edge.
I suspect we can see that same exact play. They make it look really easy, running the option down the line of scrimmage, QB making good decisions and keeping them in good second down situations.
Follows his blocks. It's Blaylock. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on first down.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
Bring him down. Long way to go on second down. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Blaylock. Found that space and picked up 6 out to the 33.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Out of the shotgun on third down. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, we want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheels. He's fast, he's elusive, can make big plays. Nice job by the defense keeping him in the pocket and getting the sack.
He got nothing on the return. Outstanding job there. The Michigan offense heads out to get this drive started. They get the ball back after the punt, and they've got to be efficient here as time is winding down. Carr unloads to the wideout. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, at the worst possible time.
And the defense hasn't made many plays today, but who can make those plays late? And this place got really, really quiet just now. They made the big play. They forced the INT, and now a chance to build on this lead and make this place even quieter.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Second down, gonna throw it. Keeping his eyes downfield. Slides, avoids the hit. What a play to convert on second and long.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
The run inside. It's Roberts. Trying to pound their way forward. He picks up a couple to the 31.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
They'll run it to keep the clock moving. And again, finds nowhere to run. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage this time.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Big noise, big house, trying to rile up this Michigan defense on third down. Dropping back, it's Bentley. A strike downfield. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown Sooners.
It's another good decision by the quarterback. You've got to be impressed here. On that one, he finds his tight end. But all game long, whether it's receivers or running backs or tight ends, wherever the best one-on-one matchup has been, he's been able to take advantage of it, and that's why they've been able to score so many points.
And they tacked on the extra point. On the return, it's Stewart. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game. So they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
Got his man downfield. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. And the Wolverines racing to the line in the hurry-up. Here's Carr to throw. They're all over him. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
They'll need a bunch on second down. He's going to change things up against this defensive look. To the air, it's Carr. Going for the big play. Makes the catch along the left sideline, and that is a big pickup. The Wolverines look to keep this drive humming.
You know, as the head coach of this team, this is one positive you're going to take away from this game, is that your players don't quit, and they're still willing to fight. There's obviously a lot of things they've got to iron out offensively, and we've seen that today. But I do love the grit they're showing here late, still trying to make plays.
Finds his target. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. To the air again, Carr. He's got it on the run. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it, first and goal. And the Wolverines go back to work after moving the chains through the air. Movement on the offensive line. That's going to be a false start, and they'll walk it back. And the penalty accepted, and they'll move them back. That just drives you crazy as an offense to get down there, get that first and goal, and you got to back up and make it a little harder. Hits inside. It's Marshall. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? Throwing, Carr. They'll run the screen. Makes the grab, and down immediately. He picks up a few. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. Turning to the running game here on third and goal. Tackled behind the line, and he'll lose one on the play. A field goal does not top the list of most helpful things at this juncture, so they'll go for it on fourth down. Under pressure. Touchdown, Michigan! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board. up for the PAT. Smashes it through for the PAT. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown, and they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. He'll bring it back looking for help. He'll be stopped just short of the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24, and good work by the coverage unit. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Trying to do it himself. Fighting off the defender. They'll make the stop, but that first down ought to ice it, and they should be able to kneel this one out.
Man, it's so nice to have a QB that can do that can run and make plays when you need it. Late in the football game, trying to run this clock out, preserve the win. He picks up the big first down and keeps the clock moving.
To the air, it's Bentley. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. Got it down the field. Quarterback will keep it himself, and down he goes, and that ought to put this one away. The Sooners will hustle to the line.
Man, this just starts to hurt your pride, right? You're down by several scores. It's in the fourth quarter, and they keep making big plays. This is something where you just got to buck up. You got to do something about it. You got to find something down deep and go make a play so you can get the ball back and maybe get back in this game.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Wants to go up top on second down. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. Timeout is called by the offense. 16 seconds left in the game.
This has been a bit of the story of this game so far, is this quarterback's running ability and whether or not the defense can stop them. They got the play there. They were able to get a sack, rally to him, and get one of the faster quarterbacks you'll see in college football down on the ground. This guy already has over 40 rushing yards in this game, so he has had some success, but I think a big key now moving forward is how does this defense stop him?
And this defense has got to be jacked up, man. They finally forced the fourth down, right? They've gotten a couple of first downs, got some things going, but I think it's decision time for this offense. And this D's got to do it one more time, right? They've got to get another play, a big fourth down stop here to get some of that momentum and get the football back.
Tried to give it enough body English, but he missed it. Missed the field goal, missed the chance to make it a 3-possession game. It's still a 14-point lead, guys. Carr fires to the middle. Right side, it's Reynolds. Timeout is called with just 2 seconds left to go. And after this play, the cake will be baked. He's changing the play. Drops back. It's Carr. Here's a throw downfield late. And the pass goes incomplete, and that's going to do it. Clock strikes 0. Ball game is over. When we get to the offseason and they start having coaching clinics, they're going to roll this game tape back to show both offenses.
Dial it up and let it run. I mean, that's essentially what we saw in this game. It didn't matter what either offensive coordinator was calling. Everything seemed to work through throwing the football